welcome to everybody at the Gables. My name is Brad, and it's a pleasure to see you. As always, we have our fun when we get together at the Gables. Sunday, another Sunday party. The weather is beautiful today. And I have the first number all picked. I'm ready if you are. You all set? You know, they say we've been ready for 10 minutes, Brad. It's you we've been waiting for. The year was 1939, and maybe the best movie in the whole world came out. It was called The Wizard of... Well, it was The Wizard of Oz, absolutely correct. It's in black and white until Dorothy gets to the land of Oz, and then it turns into beautiful Technicolor, and she sings a tremendous song. And that's the song I'd like to sing for everybody right now. It goes a little like this. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I've heard of. It was once in a lullaby. You know, Judy Garland was not the first girl that they picked to be the star of the movie, The Wizard of Oz. They had their eyes on a cute little blonde girl, short blonde curly hair, that had already been in 2 movies already, and they hired her. Maybe you remember, her name was Shirley. It was Shirley Temple. Shirley Temple was hired and fired the same day. She was going to play Dorothy Gale from Kansas, and it turns out that she was already in another movie down the street. So she couldn't play 2 movies at once. She completed the other movie, which was called On the Good Ship. But she could not be the star of The Wizard of Oz. That's when they found the wonderful Judy Garland. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me. Would you help me sing this, everybody, please? Where troubles melt, where troubles melt like lemon. Beautiful. Away above the chimney, that's where you'll find me. I'll be somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and if birds can fly right on over that rainbow, tell me why, then oh why can't I? Hey, you know who they wanted to play the wizard? In The Wizard of Oz, they wound up getting a fella named Frank Morgan. Wonderful, wonderful actor. But the first guy they wanted to hire, you'll think I made this up. His name was Groucho. They wanted Groucho Marx to be the Wizard of Oz. He came in for an audition, and they had him leave the room right away because his cigar smelled so bad. That's when they hired Frank Morgan. If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow. Could we sing the last part all together, everybody? Why, oh, why can't... Take a big breath. Shaving a haircut. 2 bits, that's it. Did you like that number? Well, then that's the show. Good night, everybody. Can you imagine if I tried to leave after 1 song? We have our friend from Billerica, Massachusetts over by the name of Tara. Tara, does everything sound okay? Oh, she says, yeah. Billerica, that's where I come from, Billerica, Massachusetts, everybody. Do you know where it is? It's right up the street. Cambridge Street turns into Boston Road. It's the same street. We're neighbors. In fact, I was thinking about the good old days. The good old days. We had a wonderful restaurant right out down at the end of the street. It was called Ma Newman's. I don't know if any of you have been up to Billerica. For years and years, we would have a couple of drinks and we'd go to the restaurant. We go to Ma Newman's. Well, after a couple of years, everybody from the neighborhood said, "Where's Ma? We'd like to meet Ma from Ma Newman's in Billerica, Massachusetts." Well, it turns out there is no Ma. The name of the place was M. A. And we looked at it quickly on the sign. We thought it was Ma. The guy's initials were M.A. For years we looked for Ma. She never showed up. But boy, did we have fun down at Ma Newman's. We would have dinner. And we'd have a couple of drinks after dinner. The guys would get a few beers under their belt, and the women would have a glass of wine, maybe two if it was a long night. Oh, and the memories. I know whatever town you grew up in or raised your family in, you too had a nice restaurant down at the end of the street. And if things went right on a given night, we might find ourselves singing this. Once upon a time there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two. Remember how we'd laugh away the hours, and we'd dream about the great things we would do. I think I feel a song coming on. Are you ready? Those were the days. Ready? Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We live the life we choose. We fight and never lose. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. Okay, you got your voices, right? Let's sing as loud as you want. Those were the days, my friend. We thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We live the life we choose. We fight and never lose. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. Those were the days. Oh yes, those were the days. Well, these are pretty good days, too. I mean, we love the old days, but we like these days as well. Last week, you would never know it was the end of October in the year 2023. It was 80 degrees outside. Well, that's not supposed to happen in October, but that's New England for you. You can always tell when it's warm because on the radio, they play the summer songs, even if it's the fall. Remember this? They were playing this all week. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. You'll wish that summer would always be here. We'll wish that summer would always be. Do you know who sang that song many years ago? He was so good they gave him three names, Nat King. Well, it was Nat King Cole, the wonderful Nat King Cole. You know, I'm going to tell you something about Nat King Cole you might not know. He started with a group in the 1940s called the Nat King Cole Trio. And he was the star of the show. But he never sang a word. Not one. Never uttered a word. Never sang a lyric. He was the best jazz piano player maybe in the United States. He just played and played and played piano. One night, he was in a little bar in New York City. It was closing time. They had just closed down the bar. The bartender was wiping down the counter. Everyone was ready to go home. And the bartender said to the piano player, Nat King Cole, "Why don't you sing a song? We've never heard you sing." He said, "Oh, I think I would be embarrassed. I don't want to sing a song." They convinced Nat King Cole in 1946 to sing a song. And the world has never been the same. With that beautiful velvet voice, Nat King Cole, thank goodness he sang for us. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. Those days of soda and pretzels and beer. Roll out those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. You wish that summer would always be here. We'll wish that summer would always be here. Want to keep it going? I'll do a medley today, okay? We do one song right after another, and we'll stop in about 15 or 20 minutes. I love the medleys. Remember this one from a famous Broadway play? It goes, what good is sitting alone in your room? Let's come hear the music play. Now I need everyone's help. Life is a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Come taste the wine. Come hear the band. That's me. You know it's time for celebrating. Right this way, your table's waiting. Put down the knitting and the book and the broom. It's time for a holiday. All together, life is a cabaret, old chum. Well, it's only a cabaret, old chum. Come to the cabaret. Hooray. We did 5 songs in a row and didn't even come up for air. Well, you may notice I'm not just playing the piano today, my friends. I'm connected to a big band. This happens to be Frank Sinatra's swing band, which he told me I could use it because he's not using it this week. So I have Frank's swing band, and if you feast your ears on this speaker over here, you might hear Frank Sinatra's swing band coming out of the speaker. Holy smokes, just like magic. We love the swing beats. You can tap your foot, snap your fingers. But we need a Sinatra song that everybody knows. How about, I've got you under my skin. Yes, I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in the heart that you're really a part of me. Yes, I've got you under my skin. Let's do a quiz question. Want to do a quiz question today, everybody? Want to make a little money? Bingo isn't the only time we make money around here. There used to be a show on the radio, tell me if you remember, many years ago. It was called the $64,000. It was the $64,000 question. You're a smart group. And if you answered all the questions correctly, you could win 64. Would you like to win 64 grand today, my dear? She said, I'd like to. I've been waiting here since the beginning. I'd like to leave with a lot of cash. Today's quiz question is about Frank Sinatra. He had a nickname for many years. Put your thinking caps on. They called him the chairman of the chairman of the board. Everybody just won $64,000. I tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair never would go so well. Why should I try to resist when, darling, I know so well that I've got you under my skin. We'll do some more quiz questions in a little while. I've got you under my skin. Right now it's time for the smile songs. You know I can't smile without you. Can't smile without you. I can't laugh and I can't sing. I'm finding it hard to do anything. You see, I feel sad when you're sad, but I'm sure glad when you are glad. If you only knew what I'm going through, I just can't smile. I just can't smile. I'm doing 3 smile songs today. Here comes smile song number 2. I'm going to test you again. Along with the radio show, the $64,000 question, there was a show that would tell you every Friday night right after dinner what the number 1 song was all across the United States. Yep, you heard it first here. All you had to do is turn on the radio. In my house, the radio had a name. We turned on the Philco. We would turn on the Philco right after dinner, about 8 o'clock on Friday night, and the announcer would tell us what the number 1 song was all across the country. And the name of the show, are you ready, everybody, was called the It was the Hit Parade. One of the first songs on the wonderful Hit Parade just happened to be a smile song that we still sing to this very day. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, yes, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. I think we need the band. But when you're crying, oh, you just bring on the rain. Stop that sighing. Are you ready? Everybody be happy again. Keep on smiling, 'cause when you're smiling, well, the whole world smiles. Yes, the whole world, it smiles. The whole world smiles with you and you and you and even you way over there on that side. Now, I said we were going to do 3 smile songs. I did them out of order because I was having just a little bit of a senior moment, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm back to the planet Earth right now, and I want to mention the 3rd and the final song about smiling. The song was written in 1936. It was written by a very famous gentleman who had never written a song before. In fact, he could not play any musical instruments. Well, you might ask, how does a guy that can't play any musical instruments and has never sung any songs, how does he write a beautiful smile song? And the answer is, I don't know. But it's a beautiful, I don't know. But I don't have the answer to everything. But here's the song. It's so beautiful. It goes, smile, though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. Although our clouds in the sky will get by. Wait till you hear who wrote this song in 1936. He was famous for, he was a star in the black and white silent movies. The silent movies from the 1920s and into the 1930s. He was the guy that did the pantomime. He had us laughing 1 minute. We'd have a tear in our eye the next minute. He was very, very talented on the silver screen. And I'm going to say his first name. If you know his last name, you could yell it out. Charlie. It was absolutely Charlie Chaplin that gave us the beautiful song, Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile even though it's breaking. Though there are clouds in the sky, we'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see that life is so worthwhile if you just smile. So you can tell all your friends at dinner tonight, you know the one song that Charlie Chaplin wrote that we still sing to this very day, Smile Though Your Heart Is Aching. Hey, we started off with Frank Sinatra. Let's wrap up this segment with a wonderful Frank Sinatra song that goes, fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, please be true. other words, baby, I love. Let's do another quiz question. I want to make sure everybody gets $64,000 today. Frank Sinatra had a nickname. We already figured out he was the chairman of the board, but he had another nickname too. Sometimes they called him Old Blue. My dear, you just won another $64,000. Unbelievable, huh? Frank Sinatra. Baby, I love. Frank Sinatra forgot the words to the song once. All he had to do, Madison Square Garden, 50,000 people listening to him. The last song, the last lyrics he had to sing, then everybody was going to go home. Baby, I love you. And he forgot the words. Maybe he was having a senior moment too. But you know, nothing could stop Frank. He could turn lemons into lemonade. He could take a terrible situation and make it wonderful. Even though he couldn't remember the words, baby, I love you. That was the night he invented Doobie, Doobie, Doo. The wonderful Frank Sinatra. Baby, I love you. A little applause for Frank Sinatra. Some for your buddy Brad. And we just did another medley. I like the medleys. We don't have to clap quite so much. Now I'm going to tell you a little something about myself I've never told you before. Are you all ears? You can't wait to hear about Brad? Thank you. When I was a little boy, 12 years old, 6th grade, my parents sent me to summer camp. Well, I asked them, why am I going to summer camp? And my parents said, we want you to have a little rest and relaxation, Brad. I said, that's wonderful. I'm going to camp. Well, years later, I was at a family cookout, a family gathering. I overheard my parents talking. You know what they said? They said, we told him we sent him to camp so he could get some rest and relaxation. But the truth is, we sent him to camp so we could get some rest and relaxation. Apparently, I was a terror. But I loved camp. It was wonderful. You know what I learned in camp? We did archery. We did swimming. We were able to go all on the path in the woods. We did wonderful hiking. But the best thing of all was when the camp counselor built a little fire out in the woods, just a little safe fire with the rocks around it. And when the fire was going good, he brought out a bag of marshmallows. And I said, what are we going to do with those? He said, get a stick. We all got a stick in the woods. And he put the marshmallow right on the edge of the stick. And I said, now what do we do? He said, put it under the campfire until it's nice and brown, and then pop it in your mouth like this. Was it good? And then I had another one, and then another one. And when the marshmallows were all gone, they broke out the hot dogs, ladies and gentlemen. We had wieners on top of marshmallows. It was the best diet I ever had my whole life. That whole summer was marshmallows and hot dogs, yeah. And we put the hot dogs on the stick too. We put them under the fire, and guess where that went? Right in the old mouth, just like that. Hot dogs and marshmallows. But you know, we couldn't start the party. We couldn't start the fun until everybody was there. Everybody had to be around the campfire. Just like here, we never start the party until everyone is here. So I think everyone's here so we could start the fun. But let me make sure. If you're not here yet, raise your hand. I caught 2 people. Now that we know that everybody's here, I want to tell you the song we used to sing. When everybody arrived, there's a special song we sang. I think everybody knows it. It's not quite that fast. It goes like this. I hope you don't even have to have a good singing voice for this one. You just have to be in a good mood, and everybody has to be here. It goes, hail, hail, the gang's all here. We're all friends together in all kinds of weather. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. We can have a lot of fun. We can have a lot of Now, did you notice someone over on this side was singing different words than we were singing? I thought I noticed it too. Someone was singing, hail, hail, the gang's all here. What the heck do we care? I didn't say that. Hail, hail, the gang's all here. What the heck do we care now? Or you could sing, we could have a lot of fun. I'll make a deal with you. You could sing any words you want as long as we're singing and as long as we're having fun. Oh, speaking of fun, I have to introduce one of my best friends in the whole world right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him, you love him, you see him every time we get together. His name is Jiminy Cricket. Look at you guys up there. Come on down. We got a couple of seats left. I can get you a ticket for half price, I think. His name is Jiminy Cricket, ladies and gentlemen, and he came over especially to say hi and to sing a couple of songs. Could we let Jiminy sing a couple? I got to put him somewhere. I used to have a little Jiminy stand, but it's being repaired. I'll lean him up against a bottle. He likes that. Can you see him? Some of you can. Jiminy Cricket, right there. Right there. He was giving me the elbow when we were driving over. He said, don't forget to play my favorite song, Brad. Play my rib cage is sore. He was banging me so much. I said, Jiminy, what is your favorite song? He said, when you wish upon a star, it makes no difference who you are. Well, I said, Jiminy, there's no doubt about it. That is certainly a beautiful song, but it's a little bit slow. And I don't like to do too many slow songs right at the beginning of the party, because sometimes the folks in the back of the room, if you do too many slow songs, I hear them go, yeah, they start snoring. So, and it's not good for business. So think of something else, Jiminy. What do you... Smile at the camera. He's so photogenic, but he's a little shy. Oh, I got a nice one. This is a song that Jiminy Cricket will tell you. I didn't make this up. Walt Disney invited Frank Sinatra to come down to Disney World. This is way back in the 1960s. Frank Sinatra not only brought himself down, he took a jet and he brought his entire orchestra down. I don't think Walt Disney was expecting that, but Walt Disney invited Frank to come into the clubhouse. It's called the Mouseketeers Clubhouse. And Frank Sinatra introduced this song, and it's one of Jiminy Cricket's favorites, too. It goes, next time you're found with your chin on the ground, there's a lot you can learn, so look around. Do you remember it? Just what makes a little old ant think he can move a rubber tree plant? Everyone knows an ant can't move a rubber tree plant, but he's got high hopes. Everybody, he's got high hopes. He's got high apple pie in the sky hopes. So anytime you're feeling low, instead of letting go, just remember that ant. And whoops, there goes another rubber tree. Whoops, there goes another rubber tree. Whoops, there goes another rubber tree plant. Jiminy, I think that was a very nice selection. Do you have any more ideas? I don't want to do those slow ones yet, but if you have anything up your... What's that? Oh, that is an excellent idea. Everybody knows it, I hope. It's called Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah. Want to break out the polkas and have a little fun, everybody? You know, I've even got an introduction for this one. It goes... Zip-a-Dee-Doo-Dah, zip-a-dee-ay. My, oh my, what a wonderful day. There's plenty of sunshine heading our way. Zip-a-dee-doo-dah, zip-a-dee-ay, and Mr. Bluebird on my shoulder. Oh, it's the truth, it's actual, everything is satisfactual. Zip-a-dee-doo-dah, zip-a-dee-ay. Wonderful feeling, wonderful. It is a wonderful day. You're singing great. Thank you, everybody. What's that, Jiminy? You got another idea? Tell me. No, I don't. That's a bad one. I don't think they'll even remember him. Oh, you think they will? Tell me if you remember. Jiminy Cricket says you will remember this guy. He started acting on the silver screen in the 1920s. His name was Jimmy Cagney. Have you ever heard of him? They said he had a face only a mother could love. In fact, they made him the bad guy in the first movies he was in. He always held a machine gun, and he was filling people full of lead. Well, lo and behold, in the 1930s, they found out that, I almost said Jiminy Cagney. They found out that Jimmy Cagney was one of the best tap dancers in the United States. Nobody knew this. That's why they made him the bad guy with the machine gun. Apparently, his parents had put him through years and years of training. Remember Arthur Murray? Arthur Murray School. I got kicked out of Arthur Murray 2 times. Arthur Murray School of Dance. And Jimmy Cagney learned to tap. I don't think we saw a better tap dancer until maybe Gene Kelly. Remember Gene Kelly? Wonderful tap dancer. Before that, it was Jimmy Cagney. And once they found out that he was a wonderful tap dancer, they said, turn in your machine gun. You'll never be the bad guy again. We're going to put you in a movie called The George M. Cohan Story. That's right. You'll back me up on this, right? And you might know it by its other title called Yankee Doodle Dandy. I think I feel a song coming on. I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy, a Yankee Doodle do or die. A real live nephew of my Uncle Sam, born on the 4th of July. I've got a Yankee Doodle sweetheart, and she's my Yankee Doodle. Now I need your help here. Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony. I am the Yankee Doodle boy. Well, I will always be your Yankee Doodle boy. Big finish. I am your Yankee Doodle boy. You sound terrific. Woo. 2 polkas in a row. Wow. I'm out of breath. Are you out of breath too? No, I'm the only one. Are you out of breath, sweetie?
I just came out.
You did. Come on down. I'll put you on the couch.
I might come down.
You can do a duet with me. We'll be famous on YouTube. Oh, I got to catch my breath, though. I'm out of... by any chance, does anyone have any oxygen I could borrow for a sec? No? Get your own. She's not... All right, then. I'm going to do a slow song. We'll do the song Jiminy Cricket wanted to do. Just a little taste of it. A little sampling of the song that Jiminy Cricket loves more than any other. When you wish upon a star, oh, it makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. And if your heart is in your dream, there's no request that's too extreme. And when you wish upon a star, your dreams come true. Oh, your dreams, they will all come true. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Jiminy Cricket. Give him a little round of applause. And Jiminy Cagney and Jiminy everybody else. Holy smokes, this is fun. Are you having a little fun with Brad today, everybody? Really? You're enjoying yourself? Well, I'm glad you said that because nobody's getting their money back. Huh? Let's take a little trip down memory lane. Just a little trip down memory lane, maybe just 2 songs. I want to mention a lovely lady, a lady that she had a hard time getting started in the business. She had her first hit song in 1946, which is wonderful, except she started trying to have a hit song in 1944. She sang for 2 years and she never, ever had a hit. Never even one hit. In fact, she was going to quit the business. And she was so unknown that if she quit the business, she would be the only person that knew she had quit the business. She sang with the best entertainers of all. Remember Glenn Miller? And the Dorsey brothers. I remember Jimmy. I never remember the other one. Who's the other? Tommy Dorsey? Another senior moment for Brad. Tommy and Jimmy. She sang beautiful songs, but never had a hit until this one. It goes, gonna take a sentimental journey. Gonna set my heart at ease. Well, after she sang this song, she became an overnight success. She went from rags to riches. Ladies and gentlemen, she was the star of stage and screen and radio and TV and everything. Records, all because of the song Sentimental Journey. And I'm going to say her first name. If you know her last name, you can yell it out as loud as you want. Maybe you'll win another 64 grand. Her name starts off Doris. It was the wonderful Doris Day that became famous because of the song Sentimental Journey. Why don't we pay a little respect to Doris Day and a little tribute to her with a wonderful song that made her famous. I'm gonna take a sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease. I'm gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. I got my bag, I got my reservation, spent each dime I could afford. Well, I'm just like a child with wild anticipation. I long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we'll leave at 7. And I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile of railroad track that takes us back. And I never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Guess what? I think we should take a sentimental journey. A sentimental journey home. We'll take a sentimental journey right home. Let's take a sentimental journey. Well, we could all take a wonderful trip. I think I'm going to take everybody with me right now on a sentimental journey. You'll have to put your seatbelts on, everybody. Strap in real tight. We're going way back in time. I'm going to take you back to 1937. Holy smokes, we've never been back to 1937, Brad. Well, that's how I could introduce the best, not singer this time, the best dancer in the whole world. He starred in his first movie in 1937. I think some of the girls over by the fireplace know who it was, too. Want to win that 64 grand? I'm going to let you in on the quiz question this time. They introduced him to a lovely lady in 1937 by the name of Ginger Rogers. That's not the quiz question. I can't pay you anything for that. And his name is Fred Astaire. I almost said Fred Flintstone by mistake. That's why I never win the quiz money. His name was Fred Astaire. He first danced with Ginger Rogers in a movie in 1937. Just a little movie with a little title, just 3 little words, Shall We Dance? And the song they danced to was Someday When I'm Awfully Low, When the World is Cold, I will feel a glow just thinking of you and the way you look too. Hello, my dear. You look wonderful as always. Watch the first step. It's a doozy up there, okay? Feel free to come down. We got plenty of space. His name was Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire and I almost said Fred Flintstone again. And Ginger Rogers. And the movie was Shall We Dance? 1937, the song came out. And right after that, they sang, You Say Either, I Say Either. You say neither, I say neither. Either, either, neither, neither. Let's call the whole thing off. You like potato, I like potato. You like tomato, but I like tomato. Potato, potato, tomato, tomato. Let's call the whole thing off. Well, luckily they didn't call anything off. They were in one movie after another. His name was Fred Astaire, just a wonderful, wonderful dancer. We had a little discussion last time I came over here to the Gables, and some people said, oh, sure, we love Fred Astaire, but we have another favorite too, a guy by the name of Gene Kelly, the wonderful Gene Kelly. And you know, these guys weren't even in competition. They had a whole different kind of dancing style because Fred Astaire could trip the light fantastic. When he held on to Ginger, they would do the waltz, the foxtrot, they could do it all. But when Gene Kelly got busy, he was like Jimmy Cagney. He was an acrobat. He could do tap dancing like you never saw. In fact, his most famous movie, tell me if you remember, I'm Singing in the... And there's one scene in Singing in the Rain where Gene Kelly goes down to the town square. Well, it's pouring. It's raining cats and dogs. It's coming down in buckets. He doesn't care. He's got a beautiful wool three-piece suit on, and he's getting it soaking. It's getting ruined, but he's swinging around the lamppost, and he's splashing in the puddles. He's got his mouth open. He's getting all the rain in his mouth. It's all fun and games until the cop comes over to him and says, "What have you been drinking?" And he sang this little number. He said, I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling. I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with that rain. Well, I got a smile on my face, and I walk down the lane with a happy refrain, 'cause I'm singing in the rain. Well, we talked about the wonderful Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, and then we said hello to none other than Gene Kelly, who was singing. He's always singing in the rain. Hey, where did you come from? It's good to see you. You just came, I just turned up like a bad penny. Well, it's good to see you. You look wonderful. You look better every time I see you. You're making the rest of us look bad. Pull up a chair. You can stay for a while if you want. In fact, let me look and see how many more songs we have left to do. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid I have bad news. I'm looking at the clock. I'm afraid we only have enough time left to do about 80 or 90 more songs. And then the executive director puts me in a paddy wagon. So with the time we have left, let me see what... I have to play my mother's favorite song. If I don't play my mother's favorite song, she said she'd put me over her knee and give me one of these. Ouch, yeah. And that didn't even hurt the way she does it. Boom. So she just had a birthday. She doesn't live too far from us, up Route 3 in a little town called Merrimack, New Hampshire. Some of you may remember, I've been coming over to Gables now for a little over 10 years. And the first year I came over, I brought my mom over, her name is Catherine, to meet everybody. And we just had a grand old time. Well, Catherine, my mom, just had a birthday. She turned 93 years old. And she had two requests for me today. She said, please play your mother's favorite song for everybody at the Gables, or you'll be in big trouble. I said, well, I would love to play your song, but I don't know what it is. I said, can I tell everybody that you're 93 years old? And she thought for a minute, and my mom said, absolutely not. But you know what she said? She said, you can tell them I'm 93 years young. Exactly. I think we have a lot of mothers in the room today. Aren't they smart? Mothers say things we would never think of. My mom said, you can say how old I am if you say I'm 93 years young. Exactly. So now I got to play her favorite song, and I'm a little bit nervous because once I found out her favorite song, I realized I've never played this song before. As God is my judge, I printed it at home, but we didn't even have time I couldn't even practice it once. And you know what that means? Brad is guaranteed to make a couple of mistakes in this song. But I'm going to play it anyway because it might be your favorite too. It's my mom's favorite song, and if I was going to make a little mistake on the piano, I'd rather make it here than any other place with my friend at the Gables, all my buddies. Would you still like me if I make a little goof? Thank you. Here it is. I'm nervous. There's a somebody I'm longing to see. I hope that she turns out to be someone who watch over me. Is it your favorite song too? I'm a little lamb who's lost in the woods. I know I could always be good to one who watch over me. Hey, so far so good, huh? Although I may not be the girl, the guy some girls think are handsome, to her heart I will carry the key. Won't you tell her please to put on some speed, follow my lead. Oh, how I need someone who watch, someone who will watch, someone who will watch over me. That's for my mom. She just turned 93 years old. Young, 93 years young. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. I hope you had a little bit of fun today at the Gables. As we come to the end of our program, I want to make a special tribute to a gentleman we just said goodbye to maybe a month or two ago. So this will give us a tear, but I hope it will be a tear of joy. He was the last of the great crooners, the gentleman that lasted longer than Frank and Nat and Dean Martin and Perry Como. He lasted longer than all of them. He made it to the ripe old age of 96 years young. And I know everybody knows I'm talking about the wonderful Tony. The wonderful Tony Bennett. There's nobody like Tony Bennett. Tony Bennett made it to 96 years old. He was on MTV back in the 1980s, and the younger generation loved him as much as we have loved him all through the years. Everybody loved Tony Bennett. And his most famous song of all, 1962, I Left My Heart in San Francisco. A little known fact, this song was not intended for Tony Bennett to sing. The record company gave this song in 1962 to a nice entertainer who they thought would do a wonderful job on it by the name of Tennessee Ernie Ford. Tennessee sang the song once and he ripped it up and threw it on the floor. He said, I hate the song, it'll never be a hit, give it to Tony Bennett. Thank goodness they gave it to Tony Bennett. And the rest is history, ladies and gentlemen. The wonderful Tony Bennett. I left my heart in San Francisco, high on a hill. It calls to me to be where little cable cars climb halfway to the stars. The morning fog may chill the air. I don't care, my love waits there in San Francisco, above the blue and windy sea. When I come home to you, San Francisco, your golden sun will shine for me. The wonderful Tony Bennett. When I come home to you, San Francisco, that sun is gonna shine for me and you and you and me and the wonderful Tony Bennett. You know, Frank Sinatra was quoted as saying he thought Tony Bennett was the most marvelous singer in the whole world. And when Frank Sinatra says somebody else is the best singer in the whole world, he must be pretty good. So Tony Bennett did sing a lot of the wonderful songs that Frank Sinatra sang. And I just happened to have one to wrap up the program today. And I have to tell you, Frank Sinatra turned 80 years old. This was quite some time ago, or I guess we should say 80 years young. And his manager and the record company said, you better retire. You're 80 years old, and we think you shouldn't be carousing around the world entertaining at the age of 80. Frank Sinatra said, I'm only 80. People still come to the shows. I'm going to keep playing. Then he turned 81, and his family chimed in too, and they said, 81, maybe you better retire. Frank Sinatra said, never. I'm going to retire when I want to retire, nobody else. He did some of his best shows at the age of 81, everybody. People came from all over the world to see him. Well, then Frank Sinatra turned 82. And he woke up on his 82nd birthday. He got out of bed, he looked out the window, not unlike this big, beautiful window here, and he said, you know what? My heart tells me today is the day I'm going to retire. So at the age of 82, Frank Sinatra said, I'm going to put on one more show, and then I'm retiring. But I'm retiring because I want to retire, not because my manager told me or someone in the family, because I call my own shots, just like we call our own shots, right? Frank Sinatra did one final show. He rented a small little place, a little out-of-the-way place in New York on one of the side streets. It was called Madison Square Garden. And he invited 50 or 60,000 of his closest friends to see him. And he did the most beautiful show at the age of 82. It was beyond belief. Then it was time for the last song. Not only the last song that Frank would sing for the show, it would be the last song Frank Sinatra would sing for his career. The last song he would sing in public. Everybody said, no doubt he's going to sing, I did it my... Well, Frank fooled everybody. He said, I know you're expecting my way. I'm going to sing my favorite song. The song of the thousands of songs I've done, the song I've loved more than any other song. And he pulled out a piece of paper from his back pocket. Not even music. It was like a poem. And he said, this is my favorite song. And he stepped up to the microphone, and Frank Sinatra said, fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. Well, you could hear a pin drop in Madison Square Garden. The entire audience, 50,000 people, now they knew what Frank Sinatra's favorite song was of all time. This is the song that he sang as his last number. And then he said goodbye to the public. Oh, he did one other thing before we sing the song. He reached into his pocket and he pulled out his Social Security card. Or maybe it was a license. He said, you see, there's a number on this, and they think they know how old I am. But the number on this is not how I feel. I don't think this is true. And he took his license and his Social Security card, and he ripped it up in pieces, and he threw it on the floor. He said, I'm as old as I feel right here, And even more importantly, I'm as old as I feel right here in my heart. Wasn't he wonderful? Truer words were never spoken. In fact, just like Frank Sinatra, everybody at the Gables, I think we should all reach into our pockets or our pocketbooks and let's take out our Social Security card and our license and rip it up just like Frank Sinatra. Bad idea. Okay. Well, we'll just sing the song. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. Please sing it with me if you'd like. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. And if you should survive to 105, look at all you'll derive out of being alive. And here is the best part. Oh, you'll have a head start if you are among the very young at heart. I see we picked up some new friends here over on this side. You snuck in when I wasn't looking. I got to look up and smell the coffee a little bit more, huh? Let's all sing the last line together. If you are among the very young at... Listen to you. I've been singing with you for over 10 years here at the Gables. I'm going to tell you, this is the best I've ever heard you sing. In the whole 10 years. I don't know if you've been practicing or... In fact, I closed my eyes for maybe 2 seconds. I thought I was in the room with the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. That's how good... Oh, you don't believe it? Thanks, everybody, for inviting me over. I hope you had a little bit of fun with Brad. I always have fun with you guys. We're going to end up with... I think the meter is ticking on the taxi outside. We're already doing extra. Maybe they'll pay us all overtime today. Wouldn't that be great? Huh? His name was Perry Como. He had a show for 14 years on television, and he's the first entertainer in the United States and the whole world to ever sell 1 million records. And here's the song that sold 1 million records. He's in Ripley's Believe It or Not. Nobody could take this title away from him. Perry Como. Catch a falling star and put it in your pocket. Never let it fade away. Catch a falling star. Hey, we'll put it in our pocket. Save it for a rainy day. 'Cause love may come and tap you on the shoulder one starless night. Just in case you feel you want to hold her, you'll have a pocket full of starlight. Catch a falling star, we'll put it in our pocket, never let it fade away. Catch a falling star, we'll put it in our pocket, save it for a rainy day. Hey, let's save it for a rainy day. We'll save it for a rainy. And his name was Perry... Who said Perry Mason over on that side? I always catch somebody. Perry Como was his name. Having another senior moment. I want to thank everybody for coming by and having a little fun with us. I want to thank BATV especially and my friend Tara for making it so this is a little bit of a get-together that the whole community can watch now, which makes it even extra special. And we're all going to be stars, too. How do you like them apples? Huh? Thank you so much for inviting me over. We've been coming over doing this for about 10 years, and I promise you I will keep coming back as long as you want. We'll just keep having fun. The year was 1926, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe one of the most famous songwriters of all time by the name of Irving. That's right, Irving Schwartz. He sang Irving Berlin, yeah. He was getting married in 1926. And his wife was coming down the stairs all dressed in white. The lights were shining on her. They were going to take their vows in, about 5 minutes. And he sat her down at the piano, not unlike this piano right here. And he said, "My gift to you, my dear, before we take our vows, is a song that I've written for you. And he said, this is the happiest day of my life. I will be your husband for all time. You will be my wife forever. And my gift to you. And he sang it to her right then and there. It was a song called I'll Be Loving You Always. I'll be loving you always with a love that's true. Help me with this one. Always. And when the things you planned, well, they need a helping hand. Yes, I will understand. Always, always. Days may not be fair. Always. That's when I'll be there. Always. Not for just an hour. Not for just a day. Oh, not for just a year. But always. Not for just an hour, not for just a day. What beautiful words. They don't write them like that anymore, do they? You know what I learned about the song, I'll Be Loving You Always? Been singing it for years, and I know that it brings back a memory for each and every person in this room, for you, and you, and you, and you. But it's a different memory. The memory that I have is different from the memory you have, and from the memory you have. But it always brings back a beautiful memory. It might be an anniversary. It could be a wedding song. It might make us think of a loved one, but it brings back a wonderful memory for every person. And sometimes those memories can be bittersweet too, can't they? Yeah, sometimes. So I'm going to invite everybody and allow you to have one tear of joy today. And then we'll go back to the smiles and the happiness. And thank you so much for inviting me over. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year. And a special thanks to Deb for allowing us to get together with the camera too and have a little fun here at the Gables. But always. And that's the show. Nobody's getting their money back. Hope you had a little fun. And guess what? I'll be loving you always, too. Shave and a haircut. 2 bits. How much is 2 bits? 25 cents. That's right. Thank you. How'd we do? Okay? Oh, I got a thumbs up from Tara. Now I know I'm in the big leagues. Thank you, everybody. This was great. This was great. Now the camera's off. You know, I have my own band. I had my own band for 30 years. And when the wedding was coming to an end and when things were winding up, I'd always say, well, you know what that means? That means the show's over. And sometimes when the show's over, it can be the most fun of all. It can mean the party's just starting. I got an email last night, and one of the ladies here at the Gables asked me if I would play her favorite song that made her think of her loved one. I'm going to try it if I can get away with this. It's a Kenny Rogers song called Through the Years, and it always brings back wonderful memories. Oh, I can't remember when you weren't there, when I didn't care for anyone but you. I swear we've been through everything there is. Can't imagine anything we've missed. Can't imagine anything the two of us can't do. Through the years, you never let me down. Oh, you turned my life around. And the sweetest days I found with you. Through the years, I've never been afraid. Oh, I love the life we made. Yes, and I'm so glad you stayed right here with you through the years. Well, that's like us here at the Gables. Through the years. through the years. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you in another month. My name is Brad. It's always a pleasure to come over here and see you. You're the best friends money can buy. I love you all. You're the best friends anybody could have. And the next time I see you, I don't want to hurry the snow and the cold weather, but the next time we get together, it's going to be for the Christmas holiday special. I'm putting it together right now and working up a nice program of our favorite holiday songs and a few little stories and some trivia we're going to talk about too. So we'll see you in about a month. And until then, don't take any wooden nickels, okay? Thank you so much, everybody. You're the best. I'm taking a bow. Oh, my heavens. And the toast. I have to give a toast. This is something my dad would say at every single gathering. Every time we get together, he would always say, if you have your health, you have everything. Did you know my dad? You must have. So I want to give a toast to wrap things up. I wish everybody in the room, the staff, the residents, the people from BATV, everyone here, I wish you good health and happiness. And that's from me and from everybody here and from our friends and our family, because if you have your health, you have everything. I better have a toast or it might not come true. I'll be back in 25 minutes. There'll be another show at midnight if you want to stick around. I'll see you then, right?